Welcome to the latest printed press. I'm Aisha Jamal, and yet again, we're doing a COVID-19 special today. And as always, we're actually focusing on our volunteers and the unsung heroes. It's been a great success over the last couple of weeks, and we've got so many volunteers that we thought we'd continue with this. I'm very happy and pleased to introduce Melissa Aypolat, who is a student currently, Akjen Havali, who is an activities and volunteer manager, Zuhre Mevlit-Mustafa, who is a restaurant manager, Yasin, who is an Aesthetician. I think I've said that correctly. I was practicing it before the program, and Koran Yasin, who is a train driver, and of course, as always, Erim Metto, who is the CEO of the Turkish Cypriot Community Association. Welcome everybody to my program. I'm so happy to have you all here. How are we all feeling?
Yeah, good.
We had a few technical things beforehand, but we're all here and all good. What I'm going to do first of all is, if we could start with Akjen, if you could just give our audience a little introduction as to what you actually do.
Okay, my name's Akjen and I live in South East London. I work for a charity called Quovadis, and I'm the activities and volunteer manager there. So we provide supported housing for people with mental ill health.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on my program, and thank you very much for all the things that you do. And in a moment, after we've introduced ourselves to our audience, we're going to talk about what voluntary work you do for the COVID-19 platform group. Gül and Koran, can you introduce yourselves to the audiences?
I'm Koran Yasin. I'm a train operator for London Underground, and yeah, this is my wife.
Hey, I'm Gül Yasin. We both live in South East London. I'm an aesthetician, which basically means skin specialist and all of that. And we've only recently started getting involved with the group, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and it was lovely to see you on Friday. I actually saw you in person, the both of you.
Yeah.
Part of the food runs on Friday. So thank you very much for that. And it's great. And what you do is very worthy anyway. I mean, you know, you said that you're a train driver. Is it working normally currently?
Yeah,
is it actually running all the trains?
Yeah,
or
we're classed as
different?
workers, so we expected to go to work, and we weren't furloughed or anything like that. So yeah, transportation needs to carry on.
Yeah, I know. I think you're definitely one of our heroes for that as well. So thank you very much. Not just the voluntary work, but actually the profession that you do. You know, you're helping key workers go to work. No, but it's true. So I just wanted to point that out really, because, you know, they talk about lots of key workers, but public transport hasn't really been as much of a focus as it should have been. And that's why I just wanted to make that point. And are you given all the equipment and stuff, or?
Yeah, they gave us, there's protocols that they have to follow, and obviously social distancing, but I'm in the train operating cabin by ourselves anyway, so we don't really have that much interaction with people. But I know bus drivers and station people, station staff and stuff like that, they have to wear certain,
Yeah, definitely. Melissa, tell us about yourself.
I live in North London and I'm a university student in Southampton. I'm currently studying sociology, and in hope I will become like a social worker after this. But yeah, that's pretty much that's all I do.
Yeah, no, you do very well, and you were my student as well, so I have to do a little shout out for you as well, Melissa. So it's really lovely to see you carrying on with your education, and you know, being part of the voluntary group. It makes me very personally proud as well. Okay, Zuhre, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I was born in Greenwich, lived in South East London all my life, and I'm a restaurant manager.
Fantastic.
That's about it. I'm a mother of 2 children and a grandmother of a granddaughter. That's it.
Yeah, which is also a very important job as well. Yeah. You know, so that's very commendable. Thank you very much for coming on my program. And Erim, as always, obviously you're the CEO of the Turkish Cypriot Community Group Association, but you know, we've been doing these programs on a weekly basis, and like you were saying before the program, we thought that it would be really good for us to focus on the the volunteers that are part of the COVID-19 platform group, and we've been doing this series called Unsung Heroes, and it's been a great success. But every week you like to give us an update as to what the group is doing. So what's happened this week?
Yeah, I mean, as my main role is that I lead this initiative, but it's because of the volunteers that the initiative can happen. So all you guys are so important to it. Outside of that, we run an organisation called TCCA, Turkish Cypriot Community Association, and we have loads of unsung heroes in there, which various carers. So we have 55 carers who work for the organisation. Each one of those has been working from day one, providing care for those who really need it under the various care acts and stuff. With our initiative here, we hit an all-time high last week. So last week we we provided 460 meals in total throughout the week, and that included for the NHS, care homes, and all the people that we delivered to. We also last week linked up with 2 other charities, one called Çatı and one called Dr. Fazıl Küçük Turkish School. The way we thought we'd do it, or the way we thought we'd deal with the food runs, is that we'd split it into sections, which makes it far easier, avoids duplication, and means that we can focus on more supporting each other with each other's resources. So last week, for example, the school actually dealt with, I think it's like 30 homes in South London, and we provided the food for them for those deliveries. Çatı dealt with Central London, and we carried on with North London, although we did do some deliveries in South London. So the idea is that that will continue for the foreseeable future. And thereafter, once this is all over, the pandemic, the partnership that we've forged with other organisations will hopefully continue in a new way, maybe working with the homeless or other arenas where there is a need, and that we be there to provide the services that are needed to deal with those problems. So that's where we're at the moment. And yeah, we are heavily reliant upon volunteers and heavily reliant upon donations. I mean, last week, for example, I need to probably call out for Turkish Food Centre, who provided donations of food packs. And that was totally amazing because it was all boxed up. It was ready to go to people's homes and very helpful. And I think the other thing that I need to mention today is that up to now, we've been inviting volunteers that have been doing deliveries on the show, and volunteers who have been arranging the food packs. But today we have 3 of the individuals on the screen at the moment are people who are doing befriending, which is they're behind the scenes, that their work is invaluable to ensure that our elderly are not left alone, that they have someone to talk to, and if there is a need, then it's picked up very early on.
Yeah, definitely. And it's very important to actually emphasize today that this is obviously going to carry on. Obviously, it will change as the COVID-19 pandemic, hopefully gets better and there's less of a need, but there will be services there as always, because obviously that is what the Turkish Cypriot Community Association was doing anyway before the pandemic. So it's not like, this is something new, obviously, but obviously, within this crisis, it's grown. What I want to do now is we've got lots of comments coming in. We've got people from Cyprus, Mehdi Ismet, has said, have a great show, everybody. Chanel Ali, she's also a volunteer, has said, well done, unsung heroes. We would not be here without you all. And Sultan, who is also part of the COVID-19 group, and she's actually one of the organisers with Gülay, has said, Gül and not Koran, South team, absolutely amazing. And let me just say, you guys are part of the South London team. Is that correct? All of you guys? Yeah, so just to make a point of that, not only are we covering North London now, but we're actually covering South London as well, because that actually was brought to our attention about a month ago, I think it was roughly, on this programme. And Erim very quickly gathered volunteers, people volunteered again, and we've now got a South London team, which is absolutely amazing, commendable. Akjen, can we start with you? Can you just tell us a little bit about what you actually do for our support group?
So obviously, because we're based in South London, like from the start, obviously it's quite difficult for us to be involved as much as we could, would have liked to. And I've still been working as well. So I've been working from home Monday to Friday and homeschooling, which has been a bit of a trial. But anyway, so in terms of what I've been doing, I sort of volunteered and offered to sort of befriend, be part of the befriending service. So I've got 2 people that I call up regularly, 2 like members of the elderly Turkish community, and just check on them basically. One of them in particular has needed medication runs. So that's been sort of the main thing that Erim and the team have helped with. And then also she's been getting shopping, as has the other volunteer, and meals as well. So it's just sort of checking on them, see if they're okay, if they're in need of anything. And then I'll let sort of Gulay or Erim know, and then take it from there. But like I say, it would have been nicer had we sort of been part of, obviously been able to help in North London, because I know the crux of it is in North London. But at least, we can do our bit by being on the phone. And obviously, like Gul and Koran have been great, like delivery wise and supporting the South team. So well proud of my cousins there. Thank you. So yeah,
really. You were related as well. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So well, Gul and Koran, tell us then, what have you been doing?
So I think for the past month now, we've been helping with the deliveries on the Fridays. This week we're going to be making about 50 meals as well to help donate towards that. So that's really exciting that we can do that. We actually, both of our nans did pass away from COVID in the past few weeks. And I think simply just like seeing the meals that were going out, knowing from my own nan and taking care of her, and what they can actually eat themselves, is why we wanted to help a little bit more. But being quite new in the organisation, I'm hoping that we can, help out more in the next few weeks, and however long this, not just how long this takes, but obviously in the future as well. Hopefully.
I think it was good. It was good doing deliveries to some of the elderly, the Guadagaras and Yasin, it was good having that interaction. They were so happy
it's nice to
see
see them week after week as well, and just knowing that we're all part of a community, and them feeling and seeing someone and knowing that they're not by themselves.
I think in the community, in our community, sometimes the older lot, they get restricted with just immediate family, and it's nice to have that. They understand that there's more to.
There's more outside the household.
There's more outside the household. There's more people that are keeping an eye out.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're just happy to see you when you answer, when you knock on the door. The amount of times I got invited in, and I think I was kind of
we had to say no, we're not actually allowed in the house unless you can't carry this box.
It was there was loads of teas and coffees offered.
Yeah, very grateful for.
Obviously, we need to point that out. Unfortunately, we have had a lot of illnesses and deaths because we are such a friendly community. Exactly. But obviously, it's very important not to. But it's so lovely, isn't it? It's fulfilling, isn't it, to see their reaction? And obviously, like you said, you're somebody outside of the family, and then when they're so warm to you, because I've had the same experience, and when they're warm to you and they see you on a regular basis, you form a connection with them, and it's like really nice to see. I think it's very fulfilling for the person that's actually doing it as well, definitely. But what you're doing, and obviously what you're going to do, is brilliant, and it's never too late. I think these things take time, and it's taken us time obviously to make the connections, but at the end of the day we've done it, and we can move forward. Obviously our whole way of life and how we think has changed, no doubt. So the fact is that we're doing this now, and whether it's happened now or it happened a few weeks ago, it makes no odds really, because I think moving forward, this is going to be something that all of us do a lot more often. I used to people, but I never did it in this sort of hands-on way. And now that I've started to do it, I think even after the pandemic, we will be helping, especially the individuals that we've formed a bond with. Most definitely. So you're very right about that. And it's really lovely to hear your story. And even from your faces, like, you can see how positive it's been, not only for them but for you as well. And like you were saying about the hot meals as well. And obviously there are some very vulnerable individuals out there that can't even cook for themselves. So the fact that you're actually delivering hot food, and my thanks obviously to all the organisations that are actually delivering the hot food, because that's not easy to organise at all, is it? It's hard, and obviously, but it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for guys like you putting your time out and actually going around. How many deliveries did you do last week, for example?
I think 11 or 12 different households.
We had about 4 or 5 in East London and about 7 or 8 in South East London.
Yeah, you see, I mean, that's taking time out of your day and everything.
We've formulated a nice route now. We know where we're going. We know which ones to hit on which way.
Right, who's the one that navigates? So who's the pilot and who's the co-pilot?
I'm the driver. That's what I'm good
for.
for.
You're the driver.
As soon as we get the list, which I must say, Dubai is so organised. As soon as we get there, she's like, right, ticking off that we've got everything. And everything's like perfectly written down.
She's got a picture on her phone of the boroughs and the postcodes and where they are. So we work out, well, if we've got to go to SE14, then we can go to SE5 after that. And that's the way we've been doing it. But it's,
They've got a good system going. Yeah, they're very organised. They are as well. And the people, Sultan and Gulai, are very organised with divvying out all the postcodes and everything. And everything's always on the bags, and it's all organised. But I know Byron's very good at the navigation as well. I've got to give him a bit of credit. But yeah, it's good. Like, you know, how we sort of get into a system really, and it's nice. And then you see those same people again week in, week out. So you form that connection. Right, we've got lots of comments, but I want to move on to Melissa and then Zuhre, and then we're going to actually look at the comments in a moment because we've got so many coming, so many positive things coming towards us from the public. But Melissa, tell us what you've been doing.
So I also have the befriender role. So I regularly check up on 2 elderly women, and I just talk to them regularly, asking if they're fine. There was one old woman who's like very anxious all the time, so I just like make her calm down, tell her everything's going to be okay. And then there's other woman, she's not really aware of everything that's going around her, so I have to like kind of like talk to her, explain things to her, tell her she can't go out, and it's just been very rewarding. I'm so happy that I'm also like doing this role. It just makes me feel better about myself and makes me feel like I don't really have like Turkish Cypriot friends as much. So now I've got to go out in the community, meet so many people. I think this has been a fantastic opportunity for me.
Yeah, it is good. And it just shows what's very commendable is that you're one of our younger volunteers, and you're a very good role model, Melissa, to people of your age. And like you're saying, you know, you've put it out, like your perspective is different as well. I think because you are like so young, it's nice because you've got a lot of good energy, and like you said, you've got patience and time to be able to speak to these elderly, especially there is a few that are very anxious about going out, or they don't quite remember, they might go out, and you guiding them obviously is very helpful in itself. And you speak to these people on a weekly basis, do you, or is it even more often than that?
I speak to them every day. Every day morning, I speak. I have like a program because I have assignments to do as well for university. So what I tend to do is speak to one elderly woman around like 11 o'clock, and then speak to the other around 1 p.m. and then go and do work for the whole day. And if anything, if they need another checkup, I'll do it in the afternoon. But I just, you know, have a little program for myself, trying to make.
That's fantastic, isn't it? But you know what? It's good for you as well, because I suppose, has it helped you get into a routine as well?
Yeah, like, definitely did. We did. It makes it like I've always liked being organized before, but I feel like with the whole calling in and stuff, it also put everything more structured, and it's just been so great. Really, I'm so happy that I took upon this role. It makes me feel very happy.
Yeah, I can see it in your energy, in your face, and it's really, really good, Melissa. Well done, honestly. You know, you're being a very good role model for people your age, and obviously I know you from before. You were in my school that I teach, and you're a pupil there. So you know, obviously I know that you're a good girl anyway, but now to see you, you know, growing up to do this voluntary stuff, organizing yourself around your learning and actually helping people in the community, and like you said, getting closer to the Turkish Cypriot community, because I know in our school there's a lot of Turkish speakers but not so much Turkish Cypriot. So it's nice for you to connect with the Turkish Cypriot. Me as well. For many years, I didn't connect with Turkish Cypriots, but obviously through the program and everything, I've connected back to my community as well. Because like in our school, it's more Turkish speaking, so it's nice. And maybe you can encourage them as well to get involved, some of your friends. But I mean, you're doing this every day and sometimes a couple of times a day. So it's, you know, taking up a lot of your time, which is, you know, brilliant. So thank you very much. Very, very good. Right, Zuhre, tell us, what have you been doing for the group?
So I was also have the befriender role. So I regularly check up on 2 elderly women, around like 11 o'clock, and then speak to one
I've also been a befriender like Melissa and Akjen. I was furloughed, one of the first to be furloughed, 18th of March. So I moved in with my mum. She's old, she's not allowed basically. And I saw it on Facebook. I can't remember where they were looking for volunteers. I've been allocated 2 people. Then one of the people didn't require it anymore. So then another person got allocated to me, and I call them every day. One of them, she's very, very old. Her children, one of them's a policeman, one of them's NHS staff. So she's had absolutely no contact from anybody. Like, obviously, they call their mum, they call their nan, but she looks forward to my call every day. We've actually got to know each other. She wants to meet me after this, and I will be going to visit her with my mum after this, definitely, because I really want to meet her too. It's just so rewarding. I don't know how to say this in English. Somebody's going to have to translate. Hey, Dua. When I call her every night, she ends her call with prayers for me.
You feel her blessing.
And blessings, like I said, she's so sweet. The other lady, she's got disabilities. She's got a son with disabilities as well. So she also hasn't been out. It's just nice when they look forward to hearing your voice every day and just making sure they're all right. I mean, if they don't answer the phone straight away when I call the first time, I try again, and then I get worried, thinking, oh my God. Like, on one occasion, I contacted Gulay, and I said, Gulay, so-and-so, I've tried twice, and I'm really worried. So Gulay was going to try and contact her via Messenger and whatever, but then she called me back. Yeah, because I feel responsible for these people, like, I don't know. I just feel I'm the one responsible for them now, and it's just rewarding. I have gone back to work now. It's been 2.5 weeks. Takeaway only, restaurant industry, obviously, but I'm still doing it, and I'm going to carry on doing it for as long as it's needed.
I think you've touched upon some very good points. Number one, that, the blessing, I mean, I think that's just a lovely thing to say, but it's true, these things actually warm a person's heart. And the fact that she's saying to you every night, so not only, I mean, you're obviously a very good person, you're taking time out of your day to ring these people, and you're so involved in them now that, the fact that she didn't call back for even a couple of hours concerned you, and you're connected to them. But at the same time, it's rewarding for you as well, isn't it? Because she's saying, oh, bless you, and you've got that connection with her, and it makes you feel good. I think in these times when we all got a shock, let's not deny it, when we were told that we had to go into quarantine, and we weren't allowed to socialize with our nearest and dearest, and we didn't know what was going to happen from one day to the next. In a sense, it changes our mindset and our gear into being positive as well, when we feel like we've reached out to somebody and we've communicated to somebody and we've helped them. And I think you've put it out there so well. And obviously, yes, the restaurant business now is takeaway now, and I think, is it after the 15th or is it in July that things will start to open up? And let's just hope that everyone will be careful and cautious and follow government procedures. I think this is very important so that we don't get another peak. But like you said, whatever happens, you've got that connection, and it's so lovely to say that you're going to go and visit her with your mum. So she's gained a friend. Not only has she had support during this time, but she's actually gained a really, really good friend in yourself. So it's just lovely to hear these stories. Honestly, I think this is why Erim decided to carry on with the Unsung Heroes, because it's stories that need to be heard. And I almost feel like we need to take it further. I'm like a drama specialist, and I always think about stories, and I feel like people need to write like diary entries or document it down, or we need to archive these videos for future generations, because I feel like all of a sudden we've stopped and we're actually understanding what really matters in life. isn't it? So it's just really, it does make me feel very emotional when I do these programs and I hear your stories, because obviously you're giving so much of your time, and then when you hear back the reactions and how you're reacting to the situation, it's really, really lovely. Chanel Ali has said, thank you to Erim, our CEO. You are the master of the operation, Erim.
No, you guys are.
So I'm happy to work alongside you. You are, though. You are. You're the one that's brought everyone together, let's be honest. And thank you to the people behind the scenes. A big thank you to Gulay and Sultan. Chanel Ali has said, and East London, yes, definitely. Miriam has put claps, I think that is. Sultan Mehmet has put, Erim, you rock. Hassan, great show, guys. Thank you very much. Gulay has put, you guys are all amazing, and she is amazing as well. She's backstage at the minute, but she's very much part of operations and organising things on a daily basis. Duiga has put hearts. Similar, I think that is pronounced, and Arj. Sultan, thank you everyone. You are incredible. Bayram hayırlı yayınlar. Oh, hang on, let me go back. Hayırlı yayınlar arkadaşlar. Allah kolaylık versin hepinize. So he's basically saying, God give you like rest, I guess, or make it easy for you. Gulay's put Bayram, who helps with the postcodes too and directions. Bayram, yeah, he does. Hassan, Bayram's put lol. So it's a good atmosphere, because I see the WhatsApp group as well that we're all on, and it's a lot of bantering. Duygu, so amazing, guys. Bayram, Erim Abi, hashtag legend. Munaver has put, my love and respect to you all. She's the head of the Chatter group, isn't she? Naime, you are all amazing. Naime also has been doing some broadcasts, and it's been amazing, Naime. Well done. Fantastic stuff that you've been doing as well and connecting with us. It's been brilliant. So well done to you. Metin Eyainlar, Jamal, Hart, Duygu Ahmet. These stories are just so lovely to hear. You should all be so proud. And Phyllis Colour, well done to you all. And everybody, you know, just saying so many positive things. Erim, what's your take?
I mean, just hearing these stories brings me back to when I was far younger and I was used to travel to Cyprus. So in the 70s and 80s, you go to Cyprus and everyone, there was a lot of warmth there, a lot of affection. Over the last few years, it feels like Turkish Cypriots have lost that soul that they once used to have, and everything's turned to finance and stuff. But this shows you that within our community, there are people that truly care about their fellow human beings and truly care about people who are part of their own culture. And hearing stories like Zuhre has just said, and Melissa's just said, and all the other stories that we've heard over the weeks, it really makes me feel proud to be Turkish Cypriot. It makes me proud that our community is standing up for the people who are in need, and no one has been left isolated. It doesn't matter if there's an emergency that happens, someone will go. And what happens every week, what seems to happen every week, is that there's no one that says no. So if there's an extra 10 deliveries, no one turns it down. It will happen. Somehow it will happen. If we have a delivery that needs to go to Great Ormond Street, someone will do it. So there's no real issue for things happening. It's so fluid and works so well because everyone's heart is pure. Everyone's intent is pure. Everyone here that's come as part of this project is not doing it for their own personal gain. He's doing it so their fellow human being doesn't suffer during this terrible period. So I think that's really important to establish that so much goes on, but it comes from the volunteers. Although I'm the figurehead and Sultan's seen as a figurehead and Good Eyes, it comes from the volunteers. Without the volunteers, there'll be no initiative.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. And again, more comments, all amazing, and a credit to the community. Together, we are stronger. Naima is saying, which is definitely true. This is something that we've said time and time again. This pandemic has brought our community together, and we need to move forward and take example really from how, I mean, Erim, yes, you've definitely got a point. You can't do this without, you know, everybody chipping in. But at the same time, I think what needs to be said is you've brought lots of organisations together and brought the community together, and we need people who are heads of groups to be able to do this more and more as we move forward, because you know you need to communicate and you need to liaise and you need to work together, otherwise things won't get done, because what someone else is good at, someone else may not be so good at, and when you form a group.
I mean, Aisha, what you're saying is totally and perfectly true. There's groups out there which we're starting to work with, like the TCCA UK site, which is an amazing site. They have a large platform. They have in the region of 11,000 people that utilise the platform, and being able to utilise that organisation as a mechanism to speak to our community, it is very effective and works really well. And the other way around, that we basically work with them to try and encourage people to utilise that platform as an information point. So and the other things like Chutter, who have been totally amazing and try to work with us on day in, day out, run by the beautiful Munavir Hanum, and the other groups like the school that's approached us, who's doing all the South London. All of us working together means that we are moving in the same direction. That's to help people utilise the resources in a more efficient way.
I do think that having initiatives like this and having groups in times of need and stuff, it does bring the community together as well. Especially, I'm assuming that the Turkish Cypriot community, I don't know the numbers, but I don't think we're kind of a big population within the UK. And like you said, there is a cultural difference from generation to generation. So my parents or my grandparents that came from Cyprus to the generation that I'm from, you kind of lose, it's natural to lose certain connections to certain cultures. And this kind of, I feel, brings it a little bit more closer, because I grew up, like similar to other people in this conversation, I grew up with not many Turkish Cypriots in my community. So it was only when I met my partner and I got a little bit more involved that I started to understand what my culture was from. Having that connection and trying to build those bridges within the community, I think is only beneficial for us. I mean, we look at other communities that have kept it tight and kept their traditions and their culture alive. Inevitably it's a beneficial thing for them as a people. So it's always good for us to be have a little bit more of a connection with each other.
I think it's really nice to hear that sort of South London is coming up in the conversations now. We always seem to get left out. Or South London as we are, but not quite thumbs up South London.
I'm kind of like
look, we're well supported.
Actually, my roots are from South London, so actually my nan actually started off in South London. So actually, when I go back, I'm a South London. I was born here. I'm actually
more Cypriots in South East London, I think, than there is in North London. It's
There's
just
lots of us down here. There's lots of us down here. We're not vocal enough. We're not vocal enough anymore. That's the problem.
I don't think being vocal is a problem in our community, if I'm being honest.
No, not when it comes to you, mate.
That's one thing we're not good with. That's one thing we are good at, being vocal in the room.
Complaining. We're good at complaining.
We need to come together. And certainly, as well as focusing on North London, of course, we've got to focus on South London. Like you said, there's a huge community, Turkish Cypriot community.
Really
and also you were saying South East, is that correct?
Yeah.
As well? Yeah, so we need to, and I went to around Peckham and around there, and there's some very vulnerable people who are living in high-rise accommodation, and they're very elderly, and they can't get out. And there's a few really big mosques as well around there that are supplying hot food. So all of this is really helping our community. And I know Munavir Hanum, as part of this, she's specifically focusing on South London, I believe. Is that correct, Erim, as well? So they're supporting us as well. So I think this is all great. We need to branch out and make sure that we're helping everybody as much as we can, as much as is possible.
I think our elderly tend to get a bit left out this side of the river. Like, it just seems to happen. I think because you've got all the organisations, the majority of the organisations, Turkish Cypriot, Turkish associations, they tend to be in North London. And it's always tended to be the Turkish schools that are this side of the river. But now, obviously, hopefully this will be, this will pave the way a little bit more, because we're finding that, our elderly are left out a lot more. Like, for example, my grandmother, I know from family and friends and stuff like that, there are a lot of people that are more vulnerable this end as well. And we struggle with carers, we struggle with all of these things that, had they been in North London, we wouldn't be having such a problem. Like, we're in a situation where my grandmother needs a carer, but we're struggling to find one in South East London. Had we been in North London, I would have called up Erim and said, we need someone. It would have been pretty much sorted. And Gul's experienced the same for her grandmother as well in the past. Like, it's just really difficult. But it was just one little way, and it's sort of exactly what Zuhre said about the phone call. Just saying, I can't wait to meet you, can't wait to get together and everything else. And the one lady in particular, she sort of said, she'll ask me how the kids are and how they're doing. She's never met them, and I've never met hers, but we have a good old bit of a chat. And she'll sort of she actually thinks my name's Jem, so I had to, and I've corrected her so many times. But you know, when you get to the point where you're like, let's leave it. So I said to Gula, I had to message, like she texts me, oh hi Jem, and I text her back and I'll put Akjen. She's just not getting it. So I was like, never mind, don't worry, it's cool, you know. So I had to message Gula and I said, look, if anyone ever phones up and said, oh, I spoke to Jem, it's actually me, by the way. It's so random, but it's really nice because, like I said to her, I'm really looking forward to, like, you know, meeting you in the future. And she's North London, but you know, like I say, we're stuck this side of the river, but it's nice that phone call can make a bit of a difference. And like, I just wish that things had been different and we'd been up in North London and able to help a bit more. So I feel like Erim knows like how I am, and I feel I've got my hands a bit tied. And initially I said, you know, I'll do whatever I can. Then I found out obviously I'm working from home, so it was restricted. But I think obviously every little helps. You know, even the 2 people that I can do, it's helpful. But it's just a shame that, you know, we couldn't help more with deliveries and stuff. But hopefully, as these things go on, God forbid, if, you know, if it gets worse.
We'll have loads of food in the future, and we'll have like a London office as well that we can just.
We will do. I'm sure. Where there's a need, everyone sort it out.
Where is he? That's the man we need to sort.
Yeah. We're running out of time. I'm going to quickly go through the comments. We need to do this again. We need to carry this on, especially the South London focus as well. We're running out of time. Quickly go through the comments so that everyone's comment is heard, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. But it's been absolutely amazing. The energy, the vibes, the positivity that come out of this program. It's been one of our best. So thank you so much. Itan has said somebody can't help everybody, but everybody can help somebody, which is our point. So everybody helps. Tijan has put, all of you are amazing. I was not aware this is something my sister Akjen was doing, but not surprised. Always helping others. All of you should be so proud of yourself. So there you go. It's been great. Monovera Blas put, as Chatter, we are so pleased working together. We love Erim. Fevzi has put, respect and solidarity to all those giving time and money to help those most vulnerable in society. There has been some real heroes and sheroes. Oh, I like that, sheroes. And Monovera Blas, I'm missing you, Gul and Koran and Jada. Well done to all of you. So it's all been positive. We've literally got 3 minutes. I'm going to go around and you literally have to say one line each of what message you'd like to give out to the audience for the future, and basically just generally to our public. I mean, it's been very heartwarming today. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the program. It's been, you know, awesome. And thank you to the audience for all your comments and support. So if we start with Akjen and we work around, Akjen, last word.
Just to say, obviously every little counts. So however little, you know, whatever you can do really helps. Like I say, I couldn't do much this time around, but every little helps. So please just, you know, in the future, if we have things like this again, just call up or, you know, put your support forward. It'll be great and really appreciated.
No, thank you. Whatever you've done has been much appreciated. I'm sure you've done lots. So, you know, you're just underplaying, you know, those phone calls mean the world to that individual. You know, even if it's 3 or if it's 100, it makes no difference. You're making a difference. Gul and Koran, if you could just give us your last words.
Well, just we should use this as a catalyst for like bigger and better things. It's sad that it takes a pandemic to get us to get into these kind of frames of mind and have time to ourselves to actually volunteer that time. But yeah, like I said, it's always a good thing, community getting a little bit stronger and
just stay positive and take care of yourselves first, and then take care of those around us.
Definitely, that's a good point as well. Take care of yourself as well. Obviously, stay positive within yourself too. It starts from within, and then you can help others. Most certainly, Melissa.
I just hope that more people who are young, who are my age, or even like the youth of Turkish Cypriot community get more involved, because obviously there's so much that people can do and so much people that do need help. And I just hope that more like youngers also get involved.
Definitely. I agree with that. Zuhre, what are your last message to our audience?
Okay, I wish I was, you know, I could do more, to be honest. But because I've been in isolation with my mum, that's why I couldn't offer to do the shopping and the food run and that. Anybody watching, if you've got 5 minutes, your 5 minutes will make a big difference to an old or vulnerable person. You're sitting at home anyway, to volunteer and do it. It's just so rewarding.
Step up.
Yes.
And the thing is that you're all saying that you haven't done enough, and you've done so much.
No,
so it just
exactly.
shows you what types of people you are, because you've actually done so much, and yet you don't feel like it's enough. So I think that's just a reflection of what good people you are on this show. So thank you very much. And you are doing more than enough. Like we said, you know, you can only do what you can do, and every little does help. So you know, I think you're all amazing. And Erim, last words.
Yeah, I mean, what's been said by the group of people that's volunteering is so important, is that these one calls or two calls that are being made to individuals on a daily basis is probably the only lifeline they've got, these elderly people. And sometimes those phone calls are lifesavers. They're the difference between life and death. If you can imagine, as an elderly person, you've been asked to stay at home, shut your doors, and you've got no link with the outside world, and you've got no one who cares about you, suffer from the inability to communicate in English. So everything's been ripped away from you, and especially as Turkish Cypriots, we like to be with family. We like to be with other people within our community. And these guys that are on the screen and the guys that we've had in previous weeks are that link that's been maintained between keeping those people, you know, some sanity in their lives and some advice and some help. And I think that if people do have time, you know, 1 hour, if you multiply that by 15 people, that's 15 hours a week that's being given to supporting individuals. And if people are saying that, you know, 1 hour you can help or contact 2 people, that's 30 people that are going to be helped in 1 week. And that's so important for us not to lose the connection that we have with the most vulnerable in our community. And the other thing about this initiative is it goes away from politics. It doesn't matter if you're right wing, left wing, if you're a person that's black or white, if you're a person that's not even Turkish Cypriot. If you need help, the community doesn't judge you on anything there, apart from the fact that you are an individual in our community that needs something or needs support. So I do want this kind of good feeling, this initiative that we have to carry on. I do need to say big thank yous to, and there's too many of them to say, all these other people who are outside this box, people like Hussein Hoja, people like Munverhan, and all the others who make things happen in their own ways, and they don't seek credit for it. But them being there allows us to do what we're doing and working together to help those most in need. So, I mean, it's a big thank you to everyone, our whole community being able to come together to show what is really good within us.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm going to end with Munevera's message where she's put how we connected South, North, Central, East and West. Thank you for the organisation of this, Erim. And she's put love you, Sultan. And Sonj has put well done all. I mean, it's been such a positive programme. Thank you very much again for coming on the programme. Thank you for all the things that you do. The unsung heroes, you truly are our heroes. Erim's point, I totally agree with that. It doesn't matter what your background is. We need to all pull together and help each other out in these times. So thank you very much. Thank you to our audience and for all this. That's it from us from Eurogench TV. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome, we are Bologna, calling newlyweds or those looking for a new bedroom set. Venti 5-door bedroom set is not only glamorous and modern, but has storage inside the bed. This bedroom set was £3,700, now £2,395. Bologna, we are here for you.